Hello. This is just a quick little impromptu stream I decided to do. Um, a colleague just sent me over a flyer and that they got in the mail, and I wanted to bounce off that to show how money works in politics and how sometimes people hide their true allegiance, I guess you could say. So I'm going to hop over here real quick. So this is a flyer that was apparently sent out in the mail. What is Mary May up to? And it has all these headlines from the Idaho Statesman, which of course is KTVB. We know, you and I know what KTVB is all about. Slide it over there. We know that they have an axe to grind against conservatives, and same thing with the Idaho Statesman. But yeah, this is what that flyer is. If you go zoom in, you can see it's paid for by a group called Safer Streets and Families. Well, that sounds nice, right? Everybody wants safe streets and families. Who doesn't, right? Well, let's see who Safer Streets and Families is. So we go to the Sunshine Report. And I have this open on the spending page just because I wanted to see how much they spent on this mailing. They spent it with ESP printing, $7,725.13. So nearly $8,000 on this mailing to try and defeat Mary May. In case you're wondering, they've got a P.O. box in Boise. Their treasurer's name's Jim Edwards. I don't know Jim Edwards. I don't know who he's affiliated with. I just got sent this 5 minutes ago, and I thought it might make an interesting object lesson. So this is all they've spent it on, basically. I'm not sure what some of these other things are. Unitemized vendors, Harland Clark. I don't remember what that is off the top of my head. Fund Hero. Yeah, I don't know if that's donation processing. We flip over to who donated. Now this is where it gets interesting. Roundhouse Group. Remember, anything you donate to a campaign, a politician, or a political action committee is public knowledge, public records. What's the Roundhouse Group? Let's open it up. And we can see they've given to two things: to Safer Streets and Families and Yes for Clean and Affordable Water. And again, you know how this works, how these PACs are named. You'll have some political action committee and their purpose is actually to attack some Republican candidate, but they'll call it the I Love Puppies Foundation. And so so everybody thinks it's, good without digging into it. So Safer Streets and Families, Yes for Clean and Affordable Water. And this being a corporation, Roundhouse Group Incorporated, they don't have to tell you who their donors are. And then they can take money from a whole bunch of people and give it to this PAC. So that's fine. I mean, that's the way it works. Go away, Firefox. Barber Valley Development Inc., another one of those. Looks like a fellow named Michael Brown gave him $5,000. That's pretty impressive. And it looks like that's one of only 2 donations he's made. The Sunshine Report website has been getting slower and slower as this campaign goes on. I assume it's because just the sheer amount of information in the database is bogging it down. They need to get someone over there to optimize it. So we'll just hang out here and watch that. While that's loading, it'll give me an opportunity to point out that, remember, Mary May's opponent in this race is Miranda Gold. Miranda Gold used to be on the city council in Eagle. She moved out of the city, so she had to resign. And she is, I don't think this is wrong to say, she's an outspoken socialist. She supported Bernie Sanders. In fact, during the 26 campaign, when Bernie Sanders was going across the, going in the Democratic primary, trying to win, I believe she volunteered on his campaign here in Idaho. Numerous Democratic Socialists of America and other affiliated groups promoted her campaigns. She ran for another, I want to say state house or state senate, I don't remember, years ago, and she lost that, but she got on the Eagle City Council, and she was considered one of these hot young socialist activists in city government. And so now she's running for Ada County Highway District. And you might think, well, what's so wrong with somebody like that being on the highway district? What does it matter? They're just building roads. Well, you get somebody like that who thinks that roads are bad, that You want everybody in trains and buses and mass transit because that's the people's transportation. The idea of us having our own vehicle that can go where we will. Well, it's dirty and it's just a little too much freedom, That's the sort of philosophy you get from the left. They love their trains. They love their mass transit. They don't like the idea of letting us go where we want to go. And so, I saw this in Seattle. I saw this in Western Washington in the Puget Sound region, which is, of course, dominated by the left. They have an awful traffic problem over there. But rather than building more roads, building more highways, a lot of times they try and figure out how to get people off the roads. And so they invest in these mass transit systems, these trains, these new bus systems, and they always end up costing a lot more than they originally budgeted. And they end up not being used very much because people just want to drive their cars. People want to be able to, instead of just going from point A to point B, from their home to their workplace, they want to be able to go from their home to their workplace, to a restaurant for lunch, to the grocery store to pick up groceries, run an errand at the bank, at the post office. They want to be able to make all these stops. And they want to have the freedom to do that. And that's really where the right and the left digress when it comes to transportation. We're all about freedom. We want to make it easy for people to go where they want to go, whereas the left wants to make it easy for you to go where they want you to go. So that's why races like this are actually important. Now, the way campaign finance works, of course, is that this PAC, this Safer Streets and Families PAC, cannot collaborate. They can't work with Miranda Gold to jointly attack Mary May. And I'm not accusing them of doing that. But this is a way that Democrat activists and donors can get those attacks in. They can donate to this group that is attacking Mary May. It looks like the entire purpose of this group is to try and attack Mary May. And so instead of donating to Miranda Gold, they can donate to this group. And then when people like me, just curious little busybodies like me, go to the Sunshine Report, we see, oh, this person donated. They didn't donate to Miranda Gold, the socialist. They donated to Safer Streets and Families. Well, that sounds nice. And so, that's how the game is played. So it's finally loaded up over here. As you can see, Mr. Brown here donated to Safer Streets and Families and Lauren McLean. No surprise. So maybe look at another one. The Whole Family Trust, $12,000. That's a lot of money. Pearl Snap Partners, Douglas Carnahan, Lise Lufkin. Okay, that's probably going to take a few minutes to load these 4 tabs. Yeah. Well, I guess I'll just keep talking while it's loading. But you see how this works, right? Let's say you've donated the maximum to a candidate. You've donated your $1,000 or $5,000 for a statewide candidate. And, you still want to be able to go after them. You've got more money to burn and you really, really, really want this candidate to win. So you donate to a PAC that will either support the one candidate or attack the other. And that's how it works. I'm not actually sitting here saying that it shouldn't work this way. I'm just wanting to use this as an opportunity to share with you that this is the way the game is played. So you can be aware of it. So that when you get, this mailer, is the mailer still open? No, I think I closed it. When you get this mailer attacking Mary May in your inbox, realize this is not some objective group. This is not some citizens watchdog or government watchdog, some group of objective citizens or journalists or activists who just want to share the truth. No, this is being sent for a reason. This is being sent to destroy the incumbent, who's a Republican, and in turn promote the Democrat socialist leftist. There we go. Let's okay, there we go. Elise Lufkin donated to Lauren McLean, Tom Arkush, Idaho Liberty Defense. I mean, we could go down a rabbit hole if I start opening these up. Terry Pickens Manweiler, so very much a Democrat. D. Let's see, Mr. Carnahan to Lauren McLean, Idaho Liberty Defense. That looks familiar. Let's open it up and load it in the background here. Rick Just, he's running against the great Cody Galloway in District 15. She has to win that race. Idaho Democratic Legislative Committee, Shelley Brock. Oh, that's a familiar name to us here in District 14. Pearl Snap Partners. Looks like this donor, this I'd have to look into them, but it's possible they were set up entirely just to collect some money and donate it to them, or maybe it's just some group out there and they decided to come here. The Whole Family Trust, Idaho Liberty Defense again, $37,000 from the Whole Family Trust. And of course, Shelby Rogstad, you remember him. He was the mayor of Sandpoint. He wanted to run as a Democrat for governor. He was fundraising, he was campaigning, and then the day came for him to file his paperwork. He didn't do it right. He didn't disaffiliate from the Republican Party because he had been pretending to be a Republican, like a lot of other people we know. And so, and he tried to do it at the last minute. And by the time he could fix his paperwork, the deadline had passed. And so he did not run for governor, which is good. I mean, if you think about it, isn't being able to do the most, take care of the most basic level of paperwork kind of a filtering effect to filter out the people who really should not be governor? Anyway, let's look at this this other group here, the Idaho Liberty Defense. Okay, so they got a bunch of money from the Wayback PAC. Oh, Planned Parenthood Votes Idaho PAC. Well, we know what they're about. They're the abortion mill. There's that Whole Family Trust, Carnahan Lufkin. Another trust, and more from Planned Parenthood. Their chairman is Arlethea Leanhart-Minnick. Apologies if I pronounced that wrong. Also a P.O. box in Boise. I imagine there's probably some post offices in Boise that the entire wall of boxes is just a bunch of political action committees. Idaho Liberty Defense. What does the Wayback PAC do? They gave to James Ruchti, a Democrat, Nathan Roberts, a Democrat, Ned Bird's a Democrat, Ali Rabe, a Democrat, Carrie Semmelroth, a Democrat, Sonia Gallivan, a Democrat, and Idaho Liberty Defense. So you see what's going on. For most of you, this is probably repetitive. You know how this works. But for those of you who don't, I hope this has been educational. Just to, just know when you get these things from PACs, they are not necessarily objective. They are coming in with an agenda. PACs provide a method for which people can put their money into politics without directly donating to a candidate. And so that's who these people are. It's just this big web of left-wing Democrat socialist organizations and people all connected, moving money from one place to another. This corporation gives money to this PAC, which gives it to this PAC, which puts out a mailer attacking a Republican candidate. And that's how the game works. So that's all I have for today. And I'll catch you all later.